Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Yeah. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
Stretch words like T-4 minutes.
I'm still here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
Stretch words like T-3 minutes.
I'm still here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
Stretch words like T-2 minutes.
I'm still here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
Stretch words like T-1 minute. T-50 seconds. T-40 seconds.
They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
T-30 seconds.
Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. I'm still here.
T-20 seconds.
Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
What up, guys? What up, everybody in the chat? It is Sunday. Did y'all go to church today? What y'all do? Okay, y'all been sitting in the house chilling. I didn't go to church, but somebody in my house did go to church. I didn't make it. I keep saying I'm gonna go. That's because like I've been to a few churches and really none of them has really like sparked anything. Like I really can be at home and do church online. So yeah, I didn't go to church today. I didn't. But that don't mean that I don't have God in my heart, okay? What y'all doing today? What y'all into? I am ordering my Sam's order some reason, and I don't know, this thing keep acting crazy and it's getting on my last nerve. I think I need to take this out. So I'm gonna order my stuff from Sam's because oh shit, what I just done did. Sometimes, so I actually like to go to the store and pick up my stuff, but sometimes it's better to just do, the order where you can either pick it up or they bring it to your house. The only reason though I really stop with the bringing the stuff to my house is because I get so damn tired of ordering stuff and then you go pick it up and then it be missing stuff. It's just like, so now what I do, I'll just order it and just like pick it up. Some stores will bring it out to you, but I kind of got away from those delivery driver shenanigans because they be playing too many games. There is like I think it's Walmart has a delivery thing, Sam's have a delivery thing, but I promise every time I use it, it's always be that one thing that I really, really need. Not to say I don't need everything and they be missing it. For instance, I had got all this meat from Sam's, right? And I got the freezer bags because the meat be in big packs and you gotta break it down into the freezer bags. So guess what? So I ordered all this meat from Sam's. Why they gonna bring everything but the freezer bags? When I tell you I was so damn mad. So essentially I had to go back to Sam's and get the damn freezer bags. Because what was I gonna do with all of this meat? I needed to literally package it into bags. Thank you, One Unique Goddess, for your membership. Now, that's a good segue. If you guys have not gotten your memberships, make sure you get them because we are having our live tonight. So it's going to be for members only later on. So make sure you guys, if you have not get your membership, it doesn't matter what membership you get. There is a membership that I have that's called Silent Support. I think it's like $4.99. It's just something like if you want to support the channel. But when I do the membership lives, it's for everybody that has a membership. It don't matter which membership you have. So if you guys have not gotten your memberships, go ahead and do that. So I don't do that anymore. I get it from the store because chances are when I get it from the store, I get everything. And if I don't, guess what? I can go right back in the store and be like, look, I didn't get this. But them delivery drivers, they be stealing stuff because when I look at the order, it says that it was there. Yeah, it probably was in his car, but he sure never gave it to me. So I just pick my stuff up from the store, y'all. I just don't have time to go back and forth. Thank you. You know what? I'm one of them people that I stick to stuff. I guess I'm at that age where if something works, I just keep it. I've been having this lipstick for so long. Actually, when I had last bought it, I had probably bought like 5 or 6. So I hadn't needed to buy this for years. It's like I don't wear makeup every day. But girl, guess what they did? What is that? Amina 𝐟𝐸6395. They don't even sell this no more. So I'm literally scraping it out of the thing at this point because they don't even sell it no more. Yep. So yeah, y'all, we're going to get into this video. Now, yesterday when I went live, I kind of spoke on it, but I really didn't because, that wasn't what my video was about. But wait a minute, before we get into it, I got to get into a few more things. Hello to everybody in the chat. Now, if you guys are new to the channel, thank you for being here. Make sure you guys are liking the video. That's like the number one thing that I ask for everybody to do because that's like something simple. If you're on your phone, you like it. If you're on your computer, like it. When I look at the statistics of the channel, it says like 50% of the people watch my lives and videos on television. Now, if you're watching it on TV, yeah, I'm not sure how you would like it, but why don't you just open your phone and just like it real quick? So I don't know how you would like it on your phone, but go ahead and hit like on your, like if you're on your tablet or something like that. Just, quickly like the video. That's like the number one thing that we need, because when you like the video, it helps the video move throughout, YouTube's algorithm. Now, that is the number one way that you can support the channel. You watch and like the video. Now, of course, the second way is to purchase yourself a membership. And I just had somebody to purchase a membership today. And let me just find her name. I know I just had it up here. One second, let me find it. One Unique Goddess, thank you for joining. So go ahead, guys, purchase yourself a membership, at least so you can be, part of the private community over here. Now, the final way, well, I shouldn't say the final way. The next way is, if you guys have questions, obviously you put your questions in the chat and I just read them randomly. Okay. I just read them randomly, but I just pick them. But if you, send a question, or if you put something in the chat and you really, really want me to read it, if you super chat it, just so you guys know, the reason why, you'll hear, content creators to say super chat it, because everybody's question in the chat, it looks the same. The only difference is we see your name. When you super chat it, it becomes green. So it's like you cannot miss it. So that's why a lot of times they'll say, super chat your question, because now it turns another color. So it's like you cannot miss it, because it's probably one of the only green chats that you have, unless, obviously if somebody else is super chatting. But what happens is, when you super chat it, it actually goes to a separate area. Unlike, the regular comments is all in one place. So just so you guys know. Now, the next way, if you guys want to support, you can always Cash App. And I say thank you to everybody. Like, I get people to send me $5. Don't be like, okay, it's only $5. If you send $5 to Cash App, I get $5. If you super chat $5, I get $2.50, but I don't tell people what to do and how to do it. I use my credit card for everything. Okay. So, although I pay it off at the end of the month, I do use it for everything because I get points. So however y'all do it, that's your business, not mine. So, if you want a Cash App, that's fine. I get $5 Cash Apps. Sometimes people send me I think the most Cash App I got was $100, but hey, $5, whatever you can send, it's up to you. Now, let's get into this video, okay? Because I was a little bit irritated, and let me just tell you why. We have a grieving mother that is going to bury her son tomorrow, and I'm going to be praying for her because my heart goes out to her. Imagine burying your son and then having people to send letters to your house. Letters like this, though. Everybody that has donated to this family, they donated it because they wanted to donate. Nobody has took your credit card out of your purse and donated. Nobody's done that. People have stood behind this family because they wanted to. Nobody was forced to. I mean, if you go, one thing about this GoFundMe, you can literally look and see the amount. Her biggest supporter was $100,000. $100,000. Okay. And I think the 100,000 was the top. And I think the second top was 10,000. And then I think, there are single people that gave 1,000. But listen, let me just explain to y'all. People that sit around counting other people's money is people that ain't got none. Okay. Because my goal in life is, if I could be able to give somebody 100,000, that means I got it. Okay. I'm not mad about anybody who's collecting money because their son passed away, or their son was, I think their son was unalive, because no way would I like to switch places with them. So the people that's doing this, they're some sick ass individuals. You got to be a sick person. Okay. And you ain't gave no money. So why the hell do you care? Why do you care? So they sent this from Denver, Colorado, as you guys can see. It's postmarked up there. It says Denver, Colorado, and it's posted. It's postmarked. You guys see July 2026. And then they put money signs. It's just like, we dealing with some real sick individuals that you will write this and actually send this shit to somebody. You got to be one sick individual. Because listen, if somebody's family member's son died and they got $11 million, guess what I don't want? I don't want the $11 million. I just want my regular life, and I want everybody to be safe. That's what I want. Money ain't that important to me that I'm going to say, oh, I wish that I had it. Nope. That's okay. She's going through a lot. And people have to be careful for the shit that they say, because listen, you may find yourself in a worse position. You may find yourself in a position that nobody give you shit. So be careful, and it's some sick ass individuals that would even do this. Like, I wouldn't consider myself to be no kind of holy person like that. But, I do believe in God. But what I mean is, yeah, I will slap a person or two. Yes, I need help. I shouldn't be slapping on folks. But at the end of the day, I'm never going to do nothing like this. Send a letter to a grieving mother saying basically it's about money. Is that, who does that? Just like who? Like, you got to be a very, very sick individual to do something like this. So my heart truly goes out to her. But one of the things that frustrated me so much in this entire case, and I said this a couple of days ago, one thing about a certain group of people, they are always being a victim. One thing about white tees, honey, one thing they know how to do is be a damn victim. They got that shit down pat. When I realized that one of the reasons that the FBI, why is this lady one of the reasons that the FBI was investigating this case was concerning threats made in connection with the Nolan Wells case. Now, if you guys recall, that mammy, and I'm calling her the mammy, that damn judge, that Judge 𝐼𝐸 was running around here being the victim and said that, she was being threatened. And I took an issue with that, because I'm like, listen, we have a mother whose son is not here, and you are making it about yourself. If you feel like you're being threatened, call the police. That's not something that you need to concern us with. We can't do anything about it. But here's the deal. The parents and, their family was being, receiving messages and being threatened. They didn't even make a whole issue about it. But here we go to, the white tea folks making a whole issue, making it about them. So we know the FBI stepped in, basically saying that they were investigating the threats, particularly because, threats could come from all over the nation. Exactly. Deflecting. Exactly. The parents were receiving the same type of, obviously now the mother has received a letter, but never one time did they really, really drill in on, the things that was happening to them online. But I'm, not, particularly happy that the mother received this letter, but I am glad that she shared it on social media, because I don't give a damn. And I said this before about this Judge 𝐼𝐸 and her problems, because I do feel like she interfered with a criminal investigation. And I've actually started a petition. They reached out to me from, what is that, change.org. And actually they created it. I just added some stuff to it, and hopefully we'll be able to get it live today. Let me see if I can, let me see if I can show it to you guys. It's partially not done, but let me see if I can show it to you. Let me go into my inbox here. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys it, but I don't want you to go there yet, because she just emailed me on how to make some changes to it, because I'm not really particularly familiar with the change.org, but we do have a petition here that we are working on as it relates to this dusty lady. Let's see. Let me just see, y'all. I don't want to start it because I messed it up. Oh boy. I don't want to mess the thing up again. Give me a second. My petitions. All right, I think it's this one. Give me a second. How do I? We say my petitions. Okay, it's right here. All right, y'all. I'm trying to bring this thing up. Oh boy. All right, y'all. Give me a second. I don't know how to work this mess. All right, forget it. So I've created a petition with the help of change.org. I was trying to show y'all the petition, but it's in draft staff. So, I mean, it's in draft status. So I don't want to, I'm trying to show it to y'all, but it's kind of messed up. Well, not messed up, but I don't want to mess it up. But particularly in that change.org petition, it is really calling for this judge to be reprimanded. And in that petition, I give you guys the email where you can send complaints to. And I also attach her post that she posted on social media, as well as the law that she violated, as well as 3 bullet points that you all you need to do is include that in your complaint. So you don't even got to think about it. But like I said, I was going to show it to you, but I don't know. I'm going to have to reach back out to them because I'm not sure how to finalize it. But, you know, as I was stating, the mother showed this pretty much picture online, and just like people are doxing her. How did they get this? You know, their address is kind of creepy to me. As you guys recall, with the Nolan Wells case, they were doxxed as well. So it was, you know, very interesting that this family has now, you know, are starting to receive mail to their house. How weird is that? Where to send you an email? Okay, so I'm gonna put it in here. Where to send email? Okay, I'm gonna put it in the chat. There you go. So I put it in the chat, and thank you to the mods in the chat. Warren Hawkins 6515, how you doing? The people who are messing with that family are the same people donating to Jeff Metcalf 345 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 and GoFundMe campaigns. Exactly the same type of folks. So hopefully, you know, this FBI can investigate this. Okay. And also, these are the messages that the judge posted publicly. And guys, let me just show you guys something, because I was able to bring that up. I looked it up. Okay. A judge cannot make comments about stuff like this. Let me show you guys why she can't. This is Article 6, Section 177A, and it's of the Mississippi Constitution. It establishes the Commission on Judicial Performance and grants the Mississippi Supreme Court the authority to discipline, suspend, or remove judges for willful misconduct, persistent failure to perform duties, or conduct prejudicial to the administration of justice. So wait a minute. So that was something that I found online as it relates to this judge. Now, hopefully, you know, something will happen, because this lady should not be posting shit on online as it relates to this case, because as you guys know, that, you know, that make people scared. And I see you guys posting stuff in chats about other cases. Michi been calling the mother a fraud. These people will do anything, you know. Unfortunately, I'm not, you know, I'm not like that. They'll do anything. Bless their heart. I mean, on the lines, online, you got to be real silly. You online dragging a mother who just lost her son. I don't want no parts of it. I don't want no parts of it. Let them folks do what they do over there, away the hell from me. Now, tomorrow is the day that Nolan Wells is going to be laid to rest. And we're going to hear information as it relates to you know, his body, guys, because there's been a lot of information that's been put out in the public about the condition of his body, about whether he was beat up and things of that particular nature. Now, thank you to Courtney H for the Cash App. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Courtney, now you sent a Cash App. I don't know if you had a question or if you just was sending a Cash App. If you do have a question, maybe you can put it in the chat. That's if you had a question. I don't know if you had one, but we're going to hear information as it relates to the condition of his body. If y'all recall, there's been information out there about the condition of his body, which we don't know because, you know, it's tomorrow going to be the 20th. This happened on the 4th. Allegedly, they found his body on the 6th. So it's been some time. Of course, I would say, you know, they would, you know, in a morgue or something like that, they would, you know, be able to put his body in a place where it can be preserved. And if you guys recall, sometimes people pass away and sometimes they don't have funerals for months. I mean, I've been to a couple where it was put off because family members were either, you know, in another country or out of town. So I don't believe the timing of his funeral is going to have a great impact on the way that he looked. But I don't know what you all think about them saying that his body was in a very bad condition. And also by them saying that he was identified, or they wanted to make sure it was him by using dental records, was always, you know, a sign to me that something nefarious took place. Now, back a few days ago, and I don't know if you guys saw this video, but I put up a video and there were some ladies going viral. They had stated that somebody that they knew had came into contact with Nolan Will's body. And if you guys recall, you know, it made me think of information that had previously been stated that something had happened to his body. But if y'all don't remember, I'm going to play this video.
Today, we actually know someone that works transporting bodies, human remains, and things like that. So today I got a call from that person, and they were just talking about the body that they came across. This was Nolan Wells. So before knowing all that, he said that the body was mistreated. Yeah. It looked abused. It looked like he was tortured. Looked as if he was burnt, maybe. Where? Face, body, said he was burnt.
And not only that, his body was mistreated when they transported him.
So as they were transporting him, he was actually face down. So everyone knows when you're transporting a body, when, you know, only a couple of people work that job, they all know you don't transport the body face down. It's kind of very disrespectful. So you always have them face up. Well, specifically his body whatever reason was face down. And me personally, I took that as disrespect.
Yeah.
Heart goes out to the family.
Yes, definitely.
Because all we know is what they put out
on the internet.
But today, we actually found out a lot about his autopsy without even reading the autopsy.
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking.
I'm so sorry that family had to go through this. Really just...
I want to give our condolences to the family. You know, as a mom, or moms,
grandmothers,
dads, family, period. You know, just we give the most prayers to you, and we stand behind you because we know right what really happened.
Right. So,
and at the end of the day, whatever lies those families have covered up, or whatever lies they're trying to cover, we're sorry, and we're here for you, and we just want you to know that what was seen today was unacceptable.
It's unacceptable, and that's why we want to inform. So what's going on during the transport, like that?
Something you can be quiet on
at all.
When you've seen something so heartbreaking as a child, you know, go through something traumatic.
Yes.
It hurts to know that that was done to him in the ways that we can't even express.
Right.
And as a person, you should have some type of humanity.
Right.
And I felt like those people who was transporting him did not have humanity in no way, shape, or form. Because if I can feel the way I feel about the situation, just listening to what happened, you also can listen to what happened to this child.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that is a child that you did that to.
Right.
So this child needs justice.
justice.
Because
Justice
we're not going to sleep until he gets it.
At all. And I heard the feds are in Mississippi right now. So justice for Nolan Wells.
No matter what.
Our heart goes out to his mom, his family, everybody.
And just know, families, we're coming for you.
Yeah. I'm going to talk about Nolan.
Somebody said, I don't believe them because I don't see anybody jeopardizing their job like that. So how do you know who it is? So, I mean, you can believe whatever you want to believe. It's up to you. I mean, you don't know who it is. So whose job would be jeopardized? You don't know who it is. You have to understand, or maybe you don't understand. When bodies are being transported, it's multiple people. So I don't know who would be jeopardized, whose job would be jeopardized. So I don't know how you probably just don't know how it goes. So nobody's name was given. I mean, everybody could not be lying. His body was identified based on dental records. So they wanted to make sure that it was him. They only use dental records when for some reason something is going on with your face. So they want to make sure that it's you. I mean, that's not anything that anybody would have had to tell us. That was widely available. Now, another thing I want to get into, there is a picture floating around, guys, and they're saying this is Nolan with this lady, Katie. I'm going to tell y'all this. It's July 19th, right? Everybody has stated that they didn't see Nolan. They ain't see him. Everybody have stated that. Now, mysteriously, oh, it's a photo of him and Katie. I mean, AI works and you can use it to make whatever you want to make. I feel like this is fake, and this is to take our attention off the real people that's responsible for his death. Think about it like this, guys. I think when we don't have information, we just start creating shit. But at the end of the day, his friends had his cell phone. That is what y'all keep forgetting. His friends had his cell phone, not Katie. So if Katie's alleged father or somebody she knows did something to him, why did they have his cell phone? It doesn't make sense. Not only did they have his cell phone, they reported him as missing to his mother and never, ever told her they had the cell phone. We got to stick with the facts and not just start like going off on a tangent, like making up stuff. These pictures now of supposedly Katie and him on a boat with her, I don't believe it. I believe it's the real individuals who are responsible. Now they want to try to put stuff out to make people think that it's something else. It's still the same scenario, guys. We haven't heard from neither of those three boys that he was friends with. And we're focusing on a lady that we don't even know who she is. At least Katie, the girl that they claim he went to hang out with, at least she called and spoke to his mother. We have not heard anything from these white tea boys that he was on the boat with. We haven't heard anything from them. I tell you what they did do, though. They went and got attorneys. They lawyered up. And people focus on some picture talking about, what about this picture? The boys, where are they at? We haven't heard nothing from them. They got lawyers. They mother on the internet talking crazy. I don't believe this. Now I'm going to play the this video. I think it's right here. So there's a picture right there. It's hard to see, but I think somebody actually made it a little bit clearer. But this is it right here. But they're saying that this is Nolan. Let me see if I can find a better one, though. Give me a second. I don't believe that. I think you know, at this point in stage, anything that's coming out is fraud. They're trying to just throw shit out there so that we can be all over the place. I just don't believe it. I just don't. Let's see if I can. I'm trying to see if I can find this photo, guys. Just give me a second, because it is online, and I believe some internet people have made it clearer to see. So let's give me a second. All right, just give me a second. All right, let's go over to this, guys. I think he has a clearer version of the video. I'm sorry, of that photo. This is this guy, Secret Service Sam. I think he has it on his page. But again, I think he's probably saying the same thing. I think that picture is fraud. I really do. I don't believe that that's real. I think it's AI. Now, Secret Service Sam goes into saying that there's a way to manipulate the date on a photo. I don't know, but let's listen to what he's saying.
I'm here with a Nolan 𝐬𝐫𝐿s update, and I just wanted to show you how easy it is to adjust a photo. Now, as you can see here, I took a selfie photo, thumbs up. Then you scroll it up, hit adjust, and then I changed it to July 4th, right? And then I changed the time to 11:11, kissed the clock, and then just saved it. So it goes to show you how easy it is to change the look on the photo to cover your footsteps. Now, I'm not saying the pool party didn't take place on June 27th or whenever they did, and the guy who had USA shaved in his chest. I feel like you're more likely to shave USA in your chest for America's 250th birthday over.
All right, guys, that's not the correct video. Let me see if I can find the other one. But basically, he's just talking about adjusting the time. Is this one?
Secret Service Sam here with a Nolan 𝐬𝐫𝐿s update. Now, here's something interesting about the infamous pool photo is that they were saying it was from June 27th, but you can change the metadata.
Okay, not that one. This man do too many videos on the same shit that I really can't even find it. He literally do videos all day talking about the same shit. Let me see if I can find it. So basically, there is the pool photo. He does it and he makes it bigger, or he got it from somewhere else. All right, let me show y'all something else quickly while I find it. Just give me a second. Let me stop sharing it here. Let me share something else with you all.
Of course, if you are going to make someone disappear, would you do it around hundreds of people out in the open? I would hope not. Also, hypothetically speaking, if you did make someone go away permanently and they had a cell phone and other belongings, would you keep those belongings on you? You know, belongings that could be tracked by that person's loved ones. I would hope not. You see, as the one who lived in both Mississippi and Alabama and would go out to the barrier islands to party and drink and all that, I can tell you for a fact, Nolan is not the first person to pass away, or even the first person to pass away on the 4th of July. You see, there have been several people who have passed away from accidental drowning off of Horn and Ship Island. The majority of the time, it's from people having some liquid courage, jumping off a boat into the water and it being too shallow, or falling off and hitting their head, becoming unconscious. One person, I think it was a 17-year-old, who fell off, hit his head, became unconscious, and his friends were right there. Tried to find him, couldn't find him. Didn't find him, I don't think, till the next day. Similar to Nolan. Drowning is silent. Silent. A person could be drowning nearby and no one have any idea. No one hear them, no one see anything, etc. I could go on and on and on. Now, I'm not saying what happened to Nolan was 100% accident. I wasn't there. You guys, no one saw what happened, or else they would say something. And I definitely think there was some negligence, 100% negligence. A lot of negligent people who should probably pay the price. Who should absolutely pay the price. If that happened to my kid, I'd be suing everyone. The boat owners who own the boat, all that. But to claim it was outright on purpose and they did this on purpose and this, I personally don't see it. I don't see it. My critical thinking skills is telling me ain't no way. Also, I found a photo of Nolan. I found a video, I believe, that shows Nolan. And there's another video I found as well that happened later in the day when the tide changed.
I don't know what you guys think about these photos. I can't verify this to be accurate. I just don't, I don't know if I believe this. It's July 19th when they say they went through and they found these photos. Where did you get it from? Where was the original place that you found these videos on? Videos, that's what they were. Where did they come from? I don't believe this. So, again, July 19th, if generally what has happened when people have found these videos, they have referenced where they got them from. A content creator saying that they found videos, but not saying where they found them from. I don't know if this is for clicks or views.
See, if you pay attention to the waves in the video or how close to the beach people are, you can tell that when it's more crowded and people are more closer to the beach floating around, that is earlier than day when it was high tide.
So I think one interesting part about this is look at all of these people out here. Look at all of the people out here. Point proved. How did Nolan drown with all of these damn people? I think they didn't realize they still had the phone. Well, here's another thing influenced by life, and thanks for your super chat. With Life 360, the mother can actually tell if they charged his phone back up. That could be. They didn't think that they had it. That definitely could be it, because that was one of the dumbest things that they could have did. A phone is nothing but a tracking device. And one thing that I like about Life 360 is, let's say if the person's phone dies, then it's going to tell you pretty much the last place that they were at, because now it can no longer track the phone. Influenced by life. Thank you again. And the GPS audio was the most non-emergency sounding emergency. Exactly. My thoughts. Yeah, I've said that. It's just when I first heard it, they had to let me know that it was an emergency, because I didn't think it was an emergency either. It kind of threw me off. I didn't think, from hearing that, I didn't know that was an emergency. I thought that was just a regular call. Thanks again, Influenced by Jay. Do you think it's a possibility of someone who stayed on the island could be in cahoots with this? So here's my deal on it. As we watch this video, right, we see all of these people on this island, right? One thing that they're all saying together is nobody saw him. That is where I start to know that something nefarious happened here. I mean, we're looking at these pictures. How could nobody see him? That doesn't make sense. I don't know. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. All of these people out here and nobody saw him.
Low tide as afternoon and the evening went on, the water went out more. So then people had to reposition their boats farther out so that their boat didn't become beached, okay, and unable to leave at all.
Pay attention to the waves.
wind right here. The tide is changing.
So you'll see in other videos.
I don't give a damn about the waves or nothing that they're talking about. Look at all of those people out there. Somebody had to have saw something. That just goes over my head. Like nobody saw anything.
The boats are further out, people are further out. There's a video I think that might show Nolan walking when it's becoming low tide. It looks like he's walking into deeper water with a blonde girl. That's what it looks like to me.
Slow down.
I don't believe this video. I do not believe this video. I don't believe this video. I believe this is a fake AI video. One thing that YT people do very well is put out fake ass evidence. This is what they do. I don't believe this. I just don't. So keep in mind, you know, this doesn't make any sense. So so did Katie leave him out there to drown? This is more fake AI information that they want to throw out there suddenly so people can now start saying Katie had something to do with it. I'm going to say that them friends had something to do with it. They had his phone, they had his car keys that they readily did not give up. Another part that people are forgetting, they originally said they didn't know Katie, but then said they called her to find out where he was. All of these different lies. It's lie after lie after lie. Even the friend Javon, I'm starting not to believe him either. Exactly. Nolan is black. They definitely saw him. They definitely saw him. I don't believe this. I do not believe this. I don't believe this.
Down. Notice again how tide is low and the boats and people have had to reposition themselves.
Now there's been talks about his friend saying, oh, he said he was staying with a Katie and we don't know where Katie is or something like that. I don't know if that's Katie. Is Katie blonde? Anyone know?
You don't even know if that's Nolan. We don't know if that's Nolan. We don't even know if this is a real picture. Again, I just feel like now it's just put out anything. Right. That's why I don't believe them. I don't believe this. I just don't. Unless they can show where this is a verified picture.
Also, another thing to keep in mind, I grew up surfing. I surfed all the time. Okay. Sandbars it's like if you imagine a wave. Okay. In between the tall sandbars where you can stand on, it might suddenly drop off.
Now, what I do want you guys to pay attention to, which is real, you see this island surrounded by water. Now ask yourself, who in the hell would you leave out there like that? Now that's a real picture. When I looked up Horn Island, my question was, why in the hell would you want to go there? Like I would be thinking that the middle of this shit gonna sink into the ocean. So this is definitely Horn Island, but think about how they left him there. So they say they left him there. This is exactly how it looks.
So if you have no flotation device and if you can't swim, it's like going from the shallow end of the pool to the deep end.
You hear what she said? If you can't swim. Didn't his parents say he could swim? Somebody said Katie offered a lie detector test. The 3 white boys refused one. I don't believe the Katie story at all. I believe it's a lie. Keep in mind, guys, this is the thing that you have to rely on, even when we don't have all of the evidence. You have to rely on the evidence that we have and how these people acted. Somebody said Katie offered to take a lie detector test. Katie, whoever she is, never proved to me to be a suspect. Let me just tell you why. She did what none of them did. She reached out to his mother after he was found, right? And she gave information, something none of them ever did. They never did it. But they went and got a lawyer. So did Katie get a lawyer? Katie is still saying, listen, I didn't do anything. Somebody put in the chat that Katie volunteered to take a lie detector test. I don't believe this freaking Katie story. I don't believe these videos now that seemingly coming out saying it's Katie. Keep in mind, when people know, especially these white tea folks, when they know they have did some shit and their ass is on the line, they'll create all kinds of distractions so that you'll be looking over there. So therefore they can get away with what they did. They kept his phone. All they had to do was tell his mother they had it. They had his phone for what, 7 hours after they reported a missing, all while the mother is calling a phone. I mean, they see her calling it. It never dawned on them to answer and say, oh, shoot, we didn't even realize we had his phone. No, this is all lies.
The pool happens like that. Okay, so you could sink underwater.
This is what happens when you don't read the tide.
Now with
so now that's a picture of a man who almost drowned on Horn Island after the tide. Go somewhere with this bullshit. Okay, go somewhere with this bullshit.
Everyone using alcohol and all that involved. This is all hypothetical. Let's say he was even walking with a friend to go out to a deeper to a boat, and if he hit a pocket or fell down and couldn't swim, he would go underwater.
Here we go. And couldn't swim. This is so stupid. Who in the hell goes walking out in the ocean that can't swim? Only you people do shit like that. Nolan's family said he could swim. You see these lies? These are lies that they're planning. Hopefully that people will pick it up and start doing videos on some lady, Katie's husband. Her father. You know, I'm hearing weird ass content creators saying, you know, maybe it was Katie's father and all of this bullshit. Yeah, I don't believe it. I believe this is those people putting out information so that the heat can be taken off of them.
And would that friend say, oh, he must have gone back with so-and-so, or he must be with another group of people, or whatever, or this, you know, when alcohol comes in play, your brain doesn't work that well. So instead of saying, oh,
when alcohol comes into play, whose brain doesn't work very well? Because from what I know, he was heard saying he didn't want to have alcohol. So what did they do? Put something in his drink? I don't believe this. What she's saying makes no sense. A person who can't swim wouldn't go out into the ocean at all unless they were just putting their feet in the water on the, like, right at the shore. So none of this applies to anything. Katie's uncle may not be a suspect of anything. Again, more lies that's being put out here. Okay, please stop it. No, Katie's uncle. Who is Katie's uncle? You guys need to stop going on YouTube listening to lies. People can be on YouTube and tell you anything and you'll believe it. So if Katie's alleged uncle did it, why did the friends have the cell phone and didn't tell his mother? Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't, because it didn't happen.
Oh crap, he must have fallen under the water. I need to get help, or I need to do this. You know, your brain just isn't.
Yeah, this is stupid, and it makes no sense. No sense at all. Now, one of the other things that we saw, you know, as it relates to this case is, of course, you know, they had the press conference in which, you know, they basically came out and said they're going to have better relations with the family. And hopefully you guys saw that video that Ben Crump did with the family, and basically said they were going to, you know, do a better job with reaching out to the family. And for those of you who did not see that, it was this press conference right here. And they, you know, vowed to, you know, do a better job. But the issue with this press conference that they did, actually, I'm going to let some of it play because it's very important. Because shortly after the family, you know, decided to, you know, meet with the district attorney and have this great press conference, something else happened, which is very important to this case.
Good morning. I'm Attorney Ben Crump, along with Attorney Lisa Park, Attorney Eric Harassed, Justin Presson, and Cliff Jones. We have the honor of representing the family of Nolan Wells. We have present with us his mother and father, Christine and Elmore. We've just had an opportunity to meet with District Attorney Angel McElgrath and some members of her team. We had a very respectful meeting. The thing I assume some of you may know, the thing to announce, she shared with the family that there will be a grand jury that she will turn this case over to once they have collected all the information and finished their investigation. We also agreed that we will have a mutual inspection of the cell phone with our experts and their experts. Attorney Eric Hertz is helping lead the investigation team with former law enforcement experts who are going to help us with the cell phone download. So everybody will be able to see at the same time what the cell phone has. We also talked about trying to make sure we dot every I and cross every T. I know that we're getting about 50 calls a day to 100 calls a day from people who were there on Horn Island, people who are familiar with individuals that were there on Horn Island. And so we continue to be steadfast in trying to get to the truth of why Nolan Wells is dead. At this time, we'll have Attorney Hertz say a few words, and then Christine and Elmore will just talk about the homegoing services and celebration for Nolan, and then we'll take a few of your questions. Attorney Eric Hertz.
Thank you. Right now, there's a lot of unanswered questions. We appreciate the district attorney meeting with us, but because of certain types of confidentiality that even the victims are not allowed to know, we did not get all the answers we want. We have an independent investigation going on that involves former law enforcement, federal agents that are going to be looking into all the different information we got. The calls are coming in and we're getting a lot of information. Some of the people that I spoke to are not talking with law enforcement here. We're going to be trying to get them to cooperate with each other because we want to make sure the narrative, which has been put out that is false, is going to be corrected. So at this point, we just ask everybody to keep calling in if you have any information and let us know. And I personally, if we validate you're a legitimate call, we'll call you and talk to you. And I thank you all for showing up today.
And now Christine and Elmore will just share with you some details of the homegoing celebration for their son.
Hello, everyone. So the homegoing celebration, the funeral will be held at Center Point Church in Ocean Springs. It is going to be, visitation will be 9 to 11, and then the funeral will start after that. The plan is for the repast because, again, we want to celebrate Nolan. And he would not want us to be sitting around crying and eating. And so what we're going to do is kind of have a party to celebrate him, and that'll be held at the Jackson County Fairgrounds. So we really do want to keep it for family and friends. We are going to allow media to come in as well. And lastly,
His teammates.
Oh, absolutely. Teammates. We've already contacted Coach Les George because we want to make sure that those guys are there. Former teammates from high school, middle school, teams that he played against. You guys are all welcome. But of course, we want to make sure that our families for sure and close friends get there. So I do want to just say for those of you, again, if you are having protests, even the day of his service, I am asking you guys to just keep it peaceful. Nolan would never want any type of violence or anything like that. He was not that kind of person. So if you guys would, again, just be peaceful. And to the community, thank you so much. Just the outpouring of love, support. We've had some local officials, Mayor Casey Vaughn from 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐞 has reached out to us. Oh my gosh, I can't even tell you. He has, it's almost been every day. He's been texting to check on us. Also, Jeffrey Hullum, thank you so much. He's been texting pretty much every day, receiving a lot of stories from Nolan's teachers, which just warms my heart, his classmates, teammates. So again, for those of you who have donated to the GoFundMe, once again, I stress, if you are not financially able to, we're not begging for that money, okay? If you're not financially able to, we understand. We thank you for whatever you can give, but if you cannot, if you would, just keep us in your prayers. And to his friends, stay strong, and please just take care of your mental health, because I know this is a lot. It's a lot for us, and I know you guys are feeling some of that too. So thank you all.
Are there any questions? Yes.
Attorney Crum, Skyler Henry here with CBS News. The last time that you spoke in a setting like this, I know you guys were hoping to get results back from an independent autopsy. I know you mentioned that Nolan had been sent to Washington D.C. Is there anything to share on that front?
Not at this time, but we hope soon, very soon. Obviously, we're concentrating on the funeral services, but hopefully shortly thereafter, we will be able to tell some findings of the preliminary autopsy. Still waiting on some things. And I also, while we're talking about funeral services, want to thank Mr. Tyler Perry for paying for the funeral.
Absolutely.
As well as Colin Kaepernick for helping to shoulder the expense of the independent autopsy. And I thank Reverend Al for agreeing to officiate the funeral services. Yes, sir.
Aaron Gilchrist with NBC News. Mr. and Mrs. Wansley, you said from the very beginning that for you, this was really about getting some answers about what happened to your son. Do you feel like after your meeting today, you have any more clarity on what happened?
Well, it was just a meeting where she talked about the process. She didn't tell us any information about the investigation too much, because those things are, as she said, her role and what she has to do. But they still have questions, and that's not insignificant to this meeting. It's just in general, every morning they wake up and there's a hole in their heart. And
now the significance to this particular meeting, guys, is right after they had this meeting, within a day or so, it could have been less, we had the governor of Mississippi and come out. And, you know, the bad thing is, in this particular meeting, from what I got from this, is that they said they were conducting an investigation and they were going to share information. Is very important, because I said that I feel like they're full of SHIT. I don't feel like they're doing anything, but I do believe they want it to appear that they're doing something. Because listen, guys, if they are doing this investigation, and you know why, somebody just told me TMZ is now reporting that he drowned. All of this information is being derived from, where do you guys think? Well, we know it's coming from Mississippi, because now the governor has spoken out. And instead of the governor saying, from what I know, they're doing an investigation, the governor of Mississippi is now saying no crime was committed.
Governor on the death investigation of Nolan Wells comes on the same day as parents and attorney met with leaders this morning. 16 WAPT's Carlos Garcia here with the latest on the case tonight. Carlos.
That's right. Well, today the family attorney said once the investigation into Nolan Wells' death is complete, it will be turned over to the DA. Governor Tate Reeves also speaking out about the case nearly 2 weeks after the teen's disappearance and eventual death. Nolan Wells was last seen on July 4th after being out with friends. His body found 2 days later in the water at Horn Island. Family and friends have spoken out about the kind of person that Wells was and say they're still searching for answers. When asked about the tragic incident, here's what the governor had to say.
I don't know all of the facts surrounding the case. I have yet to see a fact or a piece of evidence that suggests any foul play.
Did you guys hear that? The governor said he has yet to see any information that suggests foul play. This is bad because not only does it taint a potential jury, you have the governor. You know, some people look up to folks like this. I don't. I see them as regular piece of shit people, which I believe that's what he is, and also a racist. People will say, well, the governor said that this wasn't a crime. Why would the governor be making these sorts of statements? This is damaging to any investigation that they would be conducting if they're actually conducting an investigation. But this tells you there is no investigation. DC Fly 518, I believe those kids know exactly what happened and are lying back and forth trying to hide the truth. They know one or a few of them are in serious trouble. Well, the thing about it, we have investigators, lawyers, prosecutors who have law degrees, and you think they don't know this? I don't believe they care. I just don't. There's so many things that they could have done. They had so many opportunities to do things that they did not do. They did not get their phones. They did not conduct searches of property and things like that. At this point, yeah, they can go back and retrieve data from the phone, but we don't know what these folks did. It may be a way that they could have deleted certain things. Look how long they waited and allowed them to pretty much get rid of evidence. That is how Ben Crump actually got involved in this case.
Surrounding the case, I have yet to see a fact or a piece of evidence that suggests any foul play. But if there is, I feel confident that the sheriff's office, the district attorney's office, the members at the Department of Public Safety that deal with these crimes, if there had been one, they will find it and they will do what is necessary.
During a news conference with the family attorney, Ben Crump, we learned that Wells' parents and attorneys met with the Jackson County DA. They said the case will be turned over to a grand jury. They also said they will do a joint search of Wells' phone, which was not with him at the time of his death. And Crump called the meeting with the DA respectful, but said questions still remain tonight.
Yeah, this story doesn't make sense. Again, calling for a grand jury. I mean, you know, I'm not a lawyer. I don't know if it's lawyers in the chat, but who is the person that committed a crime? So what are you just going to go in front of the grand jury and say, you know, Nolan Wells died. We don't know who did it, but this is the evidence. None of the stuff that they're saying makes sense. They're not going to do anything. They have not investigated this as if it were a crime. We got the governor of the state saying he doesn't feel like a crime has basically happened. Well, I wouldn't either if you are biased and feeling like, you know, nothing happened because you're going off of your relationships with specific people. You're supposed to look at the facts of the case, look at the evidence of the case. You're not supposed to look at personalities, judges and their families. None of that matters. You're supposed to follow the evidence. But this is why it's very important, guys, because he did this interview. Well, I don't know. It could have been a day or so later. But the day earlier or whatever, they were just meeting with the district attorney, in which the district attorney told them, we're going to present this to a grand jury. But the governor is going around saying no crime was committed. Make it make sense.
And they are trying to say, what happened to my son? Obviously, you know, feel strongly that he would not have just stayed behind. He wouldn't have left his cell phone. And so we're trying to get to those answers.
Attorney Crump, Brian Rose, GC Wire. There's been a lot of misinformation that's been spread online, especially the pool picture that was shared by you. And you had said that.
Well, I didn't share it, I reposted it. We're reposting everything. Let's make it clear. We're reposting everything because we're trying to get people to come in and call. And so we've said from the beginning, we're in a ferocious search for the truth. And so things out there, we are trying to post, ask people, do you know something about?
The crazy part about this, guys, is even the video that I just shared off of the TikToker, what did we see? We saw a lot of people out there. Nobody saw him. Listen, let me tell y'all something. And some of y'all even put this in the chat. Y'all know they saw that black boy out there. Y'all know they did because they was looking. They was definitely looking on why his black ass was out there. I'm just going to say it like, you know, they was thinking. There is no damn way that they didn't see him out there. So you got to ask yourself, why is it a conjoint effort for everybody to say that they did not see Nolan Wells out there? Somebody said Katie is not off the hook. I don't know. You see what I'm saying, Steve? When a person is willingly cooperating, but then the other people are getting lawyers, I mean, I would expect Katie to get one too then. I'm just saying. I would expect Katie to get a lawyer too. But if Katie, yeah, you finna get blocked. Your mama probably work at Cracker Barrel, bitch. If Katie was involved, and I'm not saying that people can't be involved and don't, you know, present themselves as if they're not involved. My thing is, the friends went and got a lawyer just before his body was found. The friends had his phone, didn't tell his mother. I mean, if I were to pick, I would say they seem to be more involved in her. So the friends took his phone so Katie and her family could do something to him, but then they're pointing the finger at Katie, and Katie is willingly speaking, saying what she saw, but yet they're not saying anything because they got attorneys. That doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense.
This, let us know. Just because we repost does not mean that we authenticate anything. Look at our social media. We have always been very careful to say this is a repost, and we almost always give a declaration that that's what it is, a repost. And so we want people to continue to call about everything, videos, whatever interactions they saw, and thank God we are getting dozens of people calling every day saying, I was on Horn Island. This is what I saw. I know these individuals. This is what we know. They said, we understand this.
Somebody said, I heard Katie's dad was a captain of the ship. You know, sometimes you got to like kind of separate the lies from truth. So now all of a sudden Katie's dad was the captain of the ship. Well, that wouldn't make sense because they said they didn't know her. So if her dad was the captain of the ship, then they would have said that in the beginning. Again, another lie. None of that makes sense. This is what they do. They put false stories in the media when they don't want to take accountability. So if Katie's dad was the captain of the ship, why wouldn't they have said that later? Katie's dad couldn't have been a captain of their boat because their boat actually went back to their residence. So it wouldn't make any sense. So it's just more lies that they're, you know, putting out in the media. This is why I believe that them boys had something to do with it. What was Nolan's upbringing? Because in the South, as kids, we get the talk and we don't be isolated on a boat with them folks. Big no. Well, if you guys recall, they said his mother and his dad tried to talk to him about certain situations, but he believed that, you know, kind of that everybody was equal. I don't know. Good question. But the way his parents described it is he didn't look at life the way that we look at life. So, you know, for some reason, you know, he may have lived in a world where he didn't see color. And you don't have to see color. I don't see color, but I know people see color. Okay. So he didn't, his understanding of the way the world works was not, you know, the correct way of how it works. Friends didn't help search for him. Oh, forgot about that part. Yeah. Thank you for your super chat. Yeah, the friends didn't even search for him. That's why I don't even want to hear about Katie at this point. Everything the friends did, from the way I see it, is it showed that they had some involvement. Now, if you guys are here, it's only one thing that I ask you to do: like the video. If you guys have not liked the video, please like the video and please share the video.
Sheriff's investigation has hundreds of people calling too. And so the hope is that when this is presented to the grand jury, all relevant witnesses and evidence.
Keep in mind, when this is presented to the grand jury, I'm not no lawyer, I'm not an attorney, but how in the hell do you present something to the grand jury unless you have a person that you're saying committed a crime? So what is the, I'm confused. What are we presenting to the grand jury now? Who is the person that you're alleging that committed a crime? Because when you present something to the grand jury, you're telling the grand jury that there is a responsible party. When you have the governor coming out saying, oh, there's no crime committed, I'm confused. Are y'all confused? They're playing with us. They're playing in our faces, and it's more lies. If I was a district attorney, all them hoes would have been arrested and they mammies. Everybody would be in jail. Everybody would be in jail. Okay? Everybody.
Will be presented to them so that we can have a fair and impartial investigation into the death of Nolan Wells. We were very honest and candid with the district attorney.
So somebody's put in the chat, can go before a grand jury. So a grand jury is to determine criminal charges, but who? You have to have a person. That's what I was saying. So a grand jury process is to determine, do they feel like, you know, this is something that should be charged? Yes or no? But you got to have a person. And that's what I'm saying. Who is the person that they're presenting to the grand jury? It makes no sense. You can't present charges on nobody. Who's the person? So, I mean, is this going to be a blanket situation? We're going to go to the grand jury and say, we need to charge everybody that was on the boat. I have no idea what they're doing, but what I'm telling you is it's not strategic. And I feel like it's something that they're doing so that they can say, hey, we submitted this to the grand jury. The grand jury didn't indict. Hell no, the grand jury is not going to indict. You got to have information that's going to line up with facts. Something got to be factual. What are they going to say? Nolan Wells died. Here's the information. We need to charge everybody that was on the boat. Yeah, that's probably not going to fly. You got to have some kind of specific, you know, something that's going to tie them to it. Like you may say, you know, the 3 boys kept the cell phone. They did not tell the mother about the cell phone. You got to give them something. You just can't just lump some shit together and go and, you know, into a grand jury and be like, charge them. And see, these attorneys, they know this already. So that's why people are saying, and, you know, if you checked into the other judge, I think it's Carlos Moore, who's on social media, that's the same thing he stated. You can't submit something to a grand jury. Who's the person? You see what I'm saying? They're playing games with us. So do you have a suspect? If you don't have a suspect, then what are you submitting to the grand jury? So, you know, it's just what they call it, word salad. It's just more word salad.
And she was honest and candid with us. Our lived experiences tell us that we must question everything, everybody's role, law enforcement role. That is the lived experience of us as Black people in America. And we would be not honoring the ancestors' sacrifices for us if we did not be honest every chance we got when we talk to power. Yes, sir.
Eric mentioned the false narrative out there. Well, I've seen quite a few of those, so I was wondering if you could tell us which false narrative you're talking about so we can let people know it's not true. Was there a particular false narrative you were
There's a lot of narratives out there right now, and
there's a lot of narratives. We're going to try to investigate all of them.
there's a lot of narratives out there right now. I'm not going to comment on any particular one, but whenever a case this big gets in the news, people try, for whatever motivations, law enforcement or whoever, people that call in, try to set up a narrative so that people will follow the narrative. Our job is to cut through all the noise and find the truth. And the truth needs to be found by unbiased investigation, as well as unbiased lawyers and all the people that are out here, all you investigatory journalists and everyone else. We just ask that you keep an open mind until we get to the truth.
And one of the things I will say, we are trying desperately to figure it out. And we don't profess to have all the answers, but boy, we're trying. And so when people call and tell us this is this person, and then we get somebody saying that, no, this isn't that person, we're trying to balance it all. So we want to even be more careful ourselves to make certain that we're trying to get people to come forward. And there are a lot of people who have different perspectives. We're getting that just from the phone calls, that people who were there at the same time are saying different things. But we're going to get there. We're going to get to the truth.
So first, I
yes.
just want to say my deepest condolences to you, Christine, and Elmore. My heart hurts. I'm praying to heal 𝐬𝐻𝐫𝐞 here at home. But I want to go on and ask you, Attorney Bancroft, you say that you were talking about the process and they're with the DA. Were any affidavits or possible prosecutions or criminal actions presented to her to be signed eventually, or do we know?
Yeah, and as she said, her role is confidential at this point, but so she can maintain her prosecutorial independence. Obviously, I stressed to her very strenuously to say, we want you to zealously, you and the Sheriff's Department, to zealously investigate this matter, and Christine and Elmore share their life experiences too. We know through our lived experiences, our life experiences, and she said that's not how our office operates, but we know in America, in the South, certain people are investigated differently. And we shared that with her. We didn't, ask that she understand our perspective.
Ben Crump said, certain people are investigated differently, and it's happening right now. Divinely gifted by God. Katie's dad was not there. That is a lie. Katie was picked up by her uncle and aunt. Exactly. I knew it was a lie. That's why I'm not even doing anything as it relates to creating some, story about Katie's dad, Katie's uncle. This is all lies, guys. We would have known about this sooner. This is them playing the internet game, because y'all know people can put anything on the internet and lie, and people will run with the story. There's no validity to Katie's dad. There's no validity to Katie's uncle, Katie's mama. None of that has no validity. We're still with the same facts. They had his phone. They had his keys. It's the same situation. They got an attorney. They haven't spoken about it. We're sticking to those facts. We're not going to, start creating this fake narrative, talking about Katie's daddy, uncle. That's bullshit.
But we said we should mutually try to understand each other's perspectives, where we're coming from. And we agreed that we would try to do that.
Where are we at in the investigation of autopsy? We were supposed to get it back Friday.
Well, no, we like we said, we're waiting, let the doctors do what they do. They ain't got their autopsy back neither. So
exactly. So everybody is asking about the autopsy that the family has obviously got done in Washington, D.C. I think people are forgetting that Mississippi has not provided the findings of their autopsy. Again, plain effing games. Why has Mississippi not provided the autopsy? Are they dumb? I mean, they can't figure out the terms. What is the issue here? They have not provided the autopsy. That's fishy right there. They have not provided any information as it relates to the autopsy, but they say he drowned. Please make it make sense. So release the autopsy since he drowned. I believe they're waiting for the second autopsy to come through. But that is how y'all know it's some bullshit in the game. Release the autopsy. Thank you for your membership, Mrs. Natural Nawkins. I appreciate you, but this is bull crap, y'all. Like, no autopsy now? Come on now. Like, what are we waiting on? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? No autopsy has been released at all.
We're trying to get it right. And then when we get it, we're going to share it. Yes, ma'am.
On Friday in the press conference, you said that you hear on the video Nolan saying,
yes,
my freaking phone, what are you freaking doing?
That's what a witness told us, and that's what we reported out. Then another witness had come forward and said, no, that was his voice. We have other witnesses who said there were other altercations. So as Mr. Hurt said, we're trying to go through it all and so forth. And we'll be even more careful to say, this is what a witness told us in the future.
And so your team hasn't been able to look fully into that and confirm whether it was or was not Nolan?
No, we have audio people doing it, but we know certain people said it was him, and then certain people said it was not him.
Are you worried about the death threats and the violent kind of atmosphere on social media and how these fake videos and photos can play into that?
Oh my God, I saw a fake.
Okay, the fake videos, that's just the part I want y'all to hear. We don't know what this stuff is that's now coming out 2 weeks later. You know, at first, nobody had any videos or pictures of Nolan. And then the ones that they thought they deleted, we found. Remember, it was the one with the pool party. And then they said, oh, that was an old video or an old picture. Well, I mean, if it was so old, why did they delete it? Why come it just couldn't stay up there? The fact that they're hiding pictures, making their profiles private, I don't know. To me, it gives that they're hiding something. Now, one of the commenters said, Nolan's family should wait to release the independent autopsy results until the state releases theirs. Well, here's the deal. I thought about that too. I wouldn't get into the game with them as if I'm waiting, because the results are the results, okay? The results are the results. I'll just give you an example. If Nolan's autopsy reveals foul play, why do they need to wait for the state? Then it will be concluded that that is the reason that the state is holding on to the information. So I mean, I think differently. I don't know, you know, if they want to hold on to results waiting for the state. I mean, the state can say, you know, we're not releasing it for 6 months because we're doing we're still working on some stuff. They don't want this information to kind of die down in social media. No, they want to release it, okay? Because they have the power now of social media working in their behalf. So whenever they get the results back, I will go ahead and release them. Again, especially if there's something contrary to what they're saying, because there's nothing that will be able to change that. Keep in mind, they've already said that it was a drowning, right? So if he was deceased prior to hitting that water, I don't know why they would need to wait for the state, because the state is never going to say that.
Video.
Friends getting death threats.
We don't want anybody's life to be in harm's way just because we're trying to get to the truth of what happened to Christine and Elmore's son. We saw fake videos about AI generated videos of Christine, and it's just god awful as they're grieving and trying to fight for the truth, that they are also having to deal with these fake videos attacking them as they are just trying to literally bury their son next week. But we want everybody to say that we can go through this journey together for the truth. And even though we may have different viewpoints, we can all agree that everybody wants the truth, and nobody life should be threatened for seeking the truth. Nobody should be, presumed accountable until we have evidence. His mother and father only want, and Christine has said it multiple times, she only wants what you would want. If this was your son, if this was your daughter, wouldn't you?
Exactly. A parent only wants the truth. I mean, I really believe they just want to know the truth. And as any parent, you want to make sure that nothing nefarious happens. Like, why would you, Nolan was out there with alleged friends. You know how disheartening it is to these parents to feel like their son was with the damn enemies, because these don't appear to be friends. And thank you, Warren H., for your Cash App. I definitely appreciate it. Shauna Caldwell, the threats are a distraction. I believe it. Exactly. I believe it's a distraction as well, girl, because if your family is being threatened, call the police. Now, we know now that somebody sent hate mail to Christine's house. And I'm glad that she's taken it to social media, because what we don't need to do is direct any energy to a judge and her stepson who went and got attorneys and don't want to speak about the incident, but yet want to get on social media and tell us about threats. I think they need to call the popo ho.
You want desperately to get to the truth? When you want people who were closest in proximity to what happened to be investigated and thoroughly investigated? We know that, if it was Nolan, how would he be investigated? So, one last question.
Really quickly, just curious about the dynamic that you guys have had, Christine and Elmore, with law enforcement up until this point. Have you all been able to speak with the sheriff, any of the lead investigators, since what happened last week?
So that was actually clarified in today's meeting. The DA's office wanted to take over that communications because they do have a victim advocate, which I appreciate. But of course, that wasn't what she, took responsibility and accountability for. But we were not communicated with that information. So for us,
parents lost their son. They didn't even receive a victim advocate person to recently. You can't tell me this ain't about race. Come on now. If they was a dirty, what I call them, a rage beige person, they would have gotten a victim advocate. These folks is racist. I don't give a damn what nobody say to me. It ain't about race. Well, what is it about then? What is it? Tell me, what is it about? They didn't get the victim advocate person, and they stated in this press conference that they were supposed to get it. I think it was between 2 and 3 days. They couldn't even get a damn phone call. They had to reach out to these people. I hope Ben Crump sue their ass to smithereens. They're helping with the cover up of a crime because it was a rage beige, and that's it.
Us, like I said before, the last time we actually spoke to someone with the sheriff's department was last Tuesday. That was via text message that I initiated, just asking for an update. So that's the biggest thing is, I appreciate that she took accountability for saying, hey, that was actually our doing. But, we have a setup now. And so the hope is that we'll have that open lines of communication.
The only reason why they doing a setup is because of the press conference and the things that this family has did. I want y'all to understand, no grieving family wants to do press conferences. I want you all to understand the reason that the press conferences came to play, because they were not helping her. Like, do y'all really think that a grieving mother wants to go on a dang on press conference? She had to do this. If she didn't do this, if the nation wasn't looking at this case the way that everybody is looking at it, we wouldn't be talking about it and nothing would be happening. They're only slow walking is because everybody is talking about it. You know, you got people in media calling up to speak with the prosecutors. One content creator stated that he had been calling for days, and every time they would call, they would keep saying that the prosecutor was in a meeting. So they're only doing this to protect their own images. They don't really care about this family or their son.
So you feel like this was useful
and
today?
Attorney Hertz has a comment on that there.
Let me just say that under the law in Mississippi, a victim.
Okay, let me answer your question because it seemed like people get so confused. You say, the commenter says, Lakeysha, this is criminal, not sure why a civil lawyer would take the case. They're going race or criminal. So when you say this is criminal, you're not sure why a civil lawyer would take the case. Some people seem to not understand this. And I know I've said it over and over again. The only entity that has the right to put people in jail or prison is the government. She could have gotten a civil lawyer all she wanted. There's nothing a criminal lawyer can do. The only people who can put someone in jail or prison is a federal agency or a state agency. So I'm confused as to when you say you're not sure why she got a civil lawyer, because she got a civil lawyer to sue their ass, because that's the only thing she can do. That's the only thing she can do. A second thing she can do is do her own evidence, in which they've been collecting evidence. That's why they're saying that they're going to share in going through the phone, where their people and the state's people are going to do it at the same time. I don't understand why people keep saying this and keep saying this over and over again. They have a problem with Ben Crump, as if Ben Crump can put people in jail. Like, what part of that do y'all not understand? Ben Crump is not a prosecutor. He don't work for a state agency. Nobody can put anybody in jail except for them. I don't think y'all quite understand that, because people keep saying that. And I don't understand like how clearer to make it. You can actually Google this. Like, I love Google because sometimes you can just type questions in. Nobody can put anybody in jail. The responsibility rests on that state, or if the feds pick it up. Ben Crump can't put these folks in jail. Why y'all keep thinking that? Even if Ben Crump comes across messages that say we gonna unalive him, the only thing they can do is provide it to the agency. Ben Crump don't have the authority to put anybody in jail. Only this state and the federal agencies can do that. So I don't understand when you say why she get a lawyer, because the only thing that she can do is sue. I don't understand what y'all be talking about. So if somebody did something to you, you can get a criminal lawyer and get them put in jail? No. This authority with putting someone in jail solely rests on that state. Now, keep in mind, the people can still go to court and have a jury trial, but the interesting issue with this particular case is they are not gathering the evidence correctly. So even when they say, we're going to present this, or, have it presented to a, what do they call those people? I can't even remember the term, but in this press conference, they said a grand jury. Okay. So even in a presentation to a grand jury, you at least have to have it together. Like, in this particular case, have they even identified a suspect? Who's been arrested for what they claim they're going to present in front of the grand jury? It makes no sense. So again, this state of Mississippi does not seem to care about this case, and it is nothing Ben Crump can do except for to sue their ass. Ben Crump and no other lawyer can get them arrested. So I don't know what else to tell y'all. Like, Ben Crump is the best of the best when it comes to these type of cases, and I think he's doing a great job. I want y'all to understand Ben Crump's role. I did a video on that. Ben Crump is collecting evidence, but his evidence is for his case that he's gonna file against their ass. I want y'all to understand. When Ben Crump go to court, he win. I mean, y'all know who he is. Ben Crump just secured a $50 million lawsuit to Google. Y'all know Google, Google owns YouTube and a host of other stuff. Ben Crump ain't nobody to play with. I don't know why people keep playing with his name. He's not a criminal lawyer. He's a civil lawyer. He sues the SHIT out of people. That's what he does. So the evidence that he's collecting, he's going to use when, his criminal case, because even you guys have been watching this trial. Not the trial. You guys have been watching this case, and we don't have to be criminal investigators. We don't have to be lawyers. They did a bunch of shit wrong here. So Ben Crump, a civil lawyer, has to tell them that you guys need to look at these kids' phones. They know this. These people are not stupid. They're doing this because he black and they white. I mean, come on now. It is about race. They keep lying, saying it's not. That is all it's about, is race.
Is entitled within, I think it's 72 hours to get an incident report and to have certain information shared. It's been more than 72 hours, and that's part of the meeting here today, to start getting the incident report and all that information that we came here to collect, as well as listen to the district attorney and what she had to say.
Did you get that report?
No, not yet. We are working with them to say there need to be better communications with the clients and so forth. So
no communication with a parent, a family who just lost their loved one. He gonna sue the SHIT out of them. Everything they did was wrong. They even have a law that says that they're supposed to make contact within a certain many days. They didn't even do that. Even someone just put in the chat, which I've been saying, you can't take a case to a grand jury unless you know who and the results. We just don't know. Exactly. You have to have a person who, if you're taking something to a grand jury, I mean, who is the person that you're presenting the facts to? You have to have a named person. Again, this is all the games that they're playing, and this is all the information Ben gonna use when he sue the FUCK out of them, because this is just terrible. There's no other reason why they treated this family like this, solely because it was raised. You have a judge, white, dirty ass judge, by the way. Judge 𝐬𝐮𝐬𝐫𝐤𝐿, if you watching this, I think you's a dirty bitch, okay? And we're filing complaints against you, ho. Okay, you're dirty and you're low down, and you need to be off the bench. Okay, you need to be off the damn bench. You are a piece of shit. It's people like Judge 𝐟𝐨𝐵𝐿, who gets in these positions and they use their position to commit crime, because messing with evidence is a damn crime, ho. And I hope you watching this.
The big things that we know, there's going to be a grand jury into the death of Nolan Wells. And number two, that we're going to have a mutual inspection of Nolan's cell phone. We just want to make sure everybody else's cell phone is also being downloaded. Thank you.
Did you hear what Ben Crump said? So the only thing Ben Crump can do is what he's doing. I don't know what y'all want him to do, but his job is to sue. I just want y'all to know that that is his job. That's what he does. So he ain't there to do nothing but sue them, because this is all that he can do, guys. He stated this. I'll see if I can find a video on it. This is what he does. People are always trying to give him slack, saying every time Ben Crump show up, nothing happens. Well, Ben Crump shows up simply because ain't shit happened. That's why he's there. So he's not there because everything is going fine and dandy. In fact, He's there because everything has went to shit. That's the reason why he's there. So I think people get this twisted. Yes, he's an attorney, but he is a civil attorney, and what he does is sue the shit out of people. That's just what he does. So while he's there trying to organize and help these people with the investigation, one of the reasons why he's doing it is because he's going to collect his evidence for his civil suit. I mean, that is where he, that's what he does. I mean, even with the Carmelo Anthony case, you guys know that with the Carmelo Anthony case, he's on that case as well. If you know anything about that case, one of his people, I can't remember the lady's name, but someone that works in his office is kind of there. She's collecting evidence. This is all for the civil suit. So unfortunately, guys, he's not a criminal defense attorney. And even if he was, there's nothing that he can do with putting somebody in jail. So I wish y'all leave Ben Crump the F alone, okay? Because we don't have very many people out here that are doing this kind of work and they're standing by families, unfortunately, when, these things happen. So, one of the things he did say is that they're going to mutually inspect the phone. And y'all heard what he said. He said, so not only download Nolan's phone, but their phone as well. And guess what? That's where he's going to have a problem because it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. But Ben Crump is going to do what he do. He going to sue their ass. This is just what he does. This is just what he does. Let me see if I can find that article. Let me just find something. I think this is something on Ben Crump. All right. So I'm going to show y'all just something quickly on Ben Crump because y'all forget who Ben Crump is, honey. Ben Crump is the creme de la creme, honey, okay? I know y'all be trying to be racist and be like he black, but hey, y'all gotta get out of that, that kind of thinking. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump represented former Black employees in a class action lawsuit. So he represented a few Black employees in a lawsuit that they launched against Google, which successfully secured $50 million. The lawsuit alleged that Google fostered a racially hostile work environment and marginalized Black talent and underpaid and under-level Black employees. Now, this was filed like in 2022, but just recently, he secured a $50 million lawsuit. So I don't know what y'all be talking about when it comes to Ben Crump. Ben Crump knows what the hell that he's doing, okay? He knows, okay? He one of the best. Now, again, you guys know that the funeral will be tomorrow, and we will be streaming the funeral live here. Thank you for your super chat. Hello, Barbara, this Shirley. Oh, I like that. If he was with Katie, what made them think he was missing that part? And then in water at 11 p.m., what made them think he was in the ocean that time of night? Exactly. I even said that. If he was with Katie, why they call his mama at 11 o'clock? If he was with Katie, what made them think that he was missing? Again, it's a telling story that they are liars, okay? Because listen, if I think my friend is okay, I think that they're okay. It was a whole lie from the beginning. Why do they have his cell phone? That's what I would have thought is suspicious. Why would you need my phone? So Nolan gave them his phone, so he can't even take pictures. Come on now. His mother said that all he did was like to take, what are those things? Snapchats. Nobody in my house is going to give you their phone. I don't believe it. Thank you. Hello, Barbara. This Shirley. Oh, I like that name. I really do. But like I said, we will be, streaming the funeral live. But The mother was recently threatened. Well, I won't say threatened, but I mean, they didn't threaten harm for what I know, but sending this to somebody's house with money signs on it, it's really giving weird. Now, I don't know if you guys had the opportunity to see this, but Christine did post on her social media as it relates to grief.
All of your love, your support, your kindness that you guys have been showing me. I wanted to, answer each and every one of you, and I probably will at some point. I will at some point, but right now it's just, everything is so heavy. Everything is so heavy. Just been going through the motions, I'm a healthcare provider, so I talk about grief a lot. And now to be on the other side of this is, it's a lot. So I lost my mom a few years ago, and that was hard. This loss, this grief, this pain, it's different. It's insurmountable. And then it's like you get these flood of emotions all at different times, and grief is so multi-layered. 1 second I might be okay and I can talk about things and I can listen to his stories, and then the next minute I am falling apart and I feel like I can't breathe, and I feel like there is an elephant just sitting on my chest. But I know this is the process. I have a wonderful support system. I have my faith in God, which I've been leaning heavy into. But I just wanted to let you guys know that I see you. I love you. I'm thankful for all of you. And I'm so sorry that I hadn't been able to reply. I don't know exactly when again I'll post. For some reason, it does help. And I know if Nolan was here, he'd be like, Mom, just keep talking to the people, keep telling my story, keep telling your story. So that is going to be my plan. Again, thank you all so much. I love you, and I will talk to you later. Bye.
So, like I said, Nolan's funeral will be tomorrow. Michelle Phillips 8596. I'm curious if your Black was deceased. Okay, if you're Black and you were deceased, and the last people you knew him to be with was some pilgrims. What? Your first thought is money over justice? I don't understand what you mean. Whose first thought is money over justice? I have no idea what you mean. Just because a person put up a GoFundMe to help with expenses, why do you feel like it's money over justice? You need money to get justice, especially in Mississippi. The parents have to send the body to to Washington, D.C. to get a second autopsy. So why is that money over justice? I don't understand some people and some of the things that they say. I don't understand, because without money, in some circumstances, you won't get justice. They had to send his body to Washington, D.C. to get a second autopsy. Why? Why do you think they had to do that? Because they don't trust the folks. I don't understand. Like, why? Some people, I believe, have been broke for so long. They've been in poverty so long that if somebody got to get $10 more than them, they can't take it. Why? Why do people believe in poverty? I don't want no broke friends. I don't want anybody broke around me, okay? Okay. Why do people feel like being broke is just the way to live? So because the public decided they wanted to help them. See, I don't think like that. When I see somebody able to give somebody 100,000, you know what I say? Dang, I want to be able to do that. But I don't understand people in the way that they think. So you feel like it's money over justice because people gave money? I don't know. I don't know what that means. I don't know. I don't got that. They hate Ben because if they not found guilty criminally, but he wins a civil suit, it makes them bad. They want to get away both ways. I'm YT and I say so mentality. I got to reread this. Warren Hawkins, thank you for your $10. They hate being because if they not found guilty criminally, well, they can't be found guilty criminally unless they're charged. And we don't even see charges. But he wins a civil suit. So I want y'all to understand too, finding somebody guilty, you do need more evidence than you do with a civil suit. I just want y'all to know that. Civil suits are I won't say very easy, but it's a little bit easier than a criminal case. So you're saying if he wins a civil suit, it makes them bad. They want to get away both ways. I'm YT, and I say so mentality. Continue to put their feet to the fire. So let me just tell you how I feel about it. I feel like Ben Crump would not even be a part of this if the family felt like everything was being handled correctly. Ben Crump didn't, create this mess. I mean, listen, unfortunately, we live in a world where people won't be held accountable. They won't go to jail, but you will sue them and you will win money. I mean, would you prefer them to go to jail? I would, but guess what? As I stated before, we don't have the ability to put people in jail. No lawyer in the world has the ability to press charges against anybody or put anybody in jail. Only the district attorney has that right. So if you are being wronged and your rights are being violated, yes, somebody could go to jail. But if they don't put the person in jail, you better sue the fuck out of them, because that's all you can do. So you're going to walk away exhausted. You're exhausted as hell. You done lost money. You done lost sleep. Your mental, is messed up. You can't work. Yeah, you better sue them. You better sue them like hell. That's really all you can do, unfortunately. I understand, what people are saying, but, we live in a world where you can get sued. And unfortunately, that is all that you can seek. And I mean, it's not everything. Actually, it's nothing when it's compared to a life. But think about it. This family has been through hell, and people are complaining about a damn GoFundMe. I wish I could give $100,000. It just goes to, state what type of world that we live in. We're dealing with a family who's unable to work. Like, how can they go to a job right about now? This is going to take a long time for them to get up to the speed to where they can actually deal with people at work. But all while this is going on, their bills are still coming. The mortgage company don't care. The car note people don't care. The electric people don't care. The gas company don't care. The credit card company don't care. The bills don't stop. In order for a person to grieve correctly, they got to be able to pay their bills. Like, how in the hell can you grieve your son and you about to be evicted tomorrow? You about to be on the street. As a parent, I'm focused on justice for my child. Have you ever lost a child? I mean, if you've lost a child, then I would be open to hear what you would be focused on. Because if something happened to me, I'm suing your ass, okay? Anything happened to anybody, one of my relatives, and I'm able to sue, I'm focused on justice and suing you at the same time, okay? Because my time is valuable. If I have to take time out of my day to go and chase after stuff because you ain't doing your job, I'm suing you. So the fact that you are comparing what you feel, and I don't even know if you're a parent that lost a child, to people that lost a child, hey, I don't know what that is. You said as a parent, I'm focused on justice for my child. Well, justice may never come. So you can be focused on it all day, because dealing with these folks, I don't see it coming. A district attorney can't put anyone in prison. No, they can't put anyone in prison, but they can do more than the family. They can put charges on them. Okay. They can definitely put charges. Okay. So I probably misspoke, but because you so pressed about somebody's money that you don't have, okay, which is the real problem. Okay, so a district attorney can't put anybody in prison. Yeah, they can't, but they can press charges unless the jury. We know that already. But it seems like you are more bitter about money that you don't have. See, one thing I learned about broke people or low mentality people that can't get shit, don't got shit, and don't want shit, they're always concerned with somebody else's pocket. Why don't you go out there and do something with your life so that you can feel fulfilled and stop counting somebody else's money that you don't have? And I wouldn't want the money because it's a lot comes with it, you know. So I don't know what that is. I hope you go out and find happiness. I really do, because you're too pressed about somebody else's money. That's crazy. That is so crazy. People like you, I stay away from. I just don't know what that is. You talking about if it was me, I would be concerned about justice. I don't want it to be me. And if it happened to me, I'm calling being crump. I'm suing your ass. Okay. I'm suing the fuck out of you. I'm getting both. I don't know. Justice, and I'm getting the money too. That's why certain folks stay broke. They don't have life insurance. They don't know when to sue. I'm suing. And as a matter of fact, I'm suing everybody. Anything I can sue your ass for, I'm doing it. Okay. Mississippi grand jury can issue a Jane Doe indictment against unknown persons based on DNA or other evidence, or they RTN a report without indictment if they are investigating an unsolved matter. Yeah, I don't know what that means either. You know, I'm not an attorney, but an attorney said the same thing that I said. How do you issue an indictment against an unknown person? Thank you for your super chat. I don't know about that. But like I said, I'm not an attorney, but the attorney said the same thing. I don't know how they would do that. I just don't. But if you think about it, how is it that I don't know how that goes, okay? An indictment against an unknown person? I mean, I've never heard of that. I don't even know how that works. But you know, I feel like people are they did the same thing with the Carmelo Anthony family. Mad about GoFundMe money. Like, do you know what came with that money? Their son being in jail. Like, do you really want that? I don't understand. I don't understand the hate for people and concerned about money that they have for a deceased son. That's crazy. What I want to do is be able to give 100,000, because that means that I got it like that. I'm not concerned with what you do with 100,000. I'm concerned with me being able to give 100,000, because baby, if I can give 100,000, that's the type of life I want. Not the type where I'm looking at somebody else's money saying, why you're getting the money, you should be concerned about justice. You know, I hate using this word, but that sounds like a hater to me. That sounds like a hater, okay? It sounds like a hater. It sounds like a hater to me. Because like I said, if something happened to me, I want justice and I'm suing you, okay? I want the money too. Because if I had to go through something, I need to sue you for my pain and suffering. That's what it's called. Ben Crump secured, look at that, a $779.3 million. Now that's a lot of money. Just give me one and I'm cool for now. But $779.3 million wrongful death verdict. Dang, that was just a couple of months ago. In 2025, for the family of Louis Butler, a security guard unalived during an armed robbery at an internet cafe. Listen, that's all I'm saying. Ben Crump, them verdicts don't be no joke. You know, Ben Crump bank account got so many zeros, honey. He got to just divide it all amongst things. So, you know, people just be giving him flack because he black. Had he be white, they wouldn't be making all of these comments. See, one thing y'all got to understand about black people, they're racist against their own people. They are. Just call it what it is. Yeah, I like Ben Crump. He doing his job. I live in Georgia where White attorneys don't want your case unless you damn near dead. Okay. So don't tell me about Ben Crump. Okay. Ben Crump is doing a lot more than these Caucasians do, because if you call them, they want you to be hanging on by a thread and half dead before they take your case. Ben Crump is out here doing press with these people. He doing a lot that these white tees would not even do. So, you know, I have love for Ben Crump and I like the work that he does. Okay, because it is real. They do discriminate against Black people. This ain't something that he's making up. I mean, I understand, you know, Black folks, y'all need to start liking folks that look like y'all, but y'all be the first people talking about racism, and y'all ass is racist yourself. A lot of y'all don't even like your own self. Okay, y'all don't even like you. You know, anytime it comes to a Black person, y'all be the main ones acting crazy for no reason. Exactly, because he's doing something that that's what I said on my last video. Like, if Ben Crump didn't do it, who would? Ben Crump, listen, I saw Ben Crump, they did a video of him in court. Ben Crump is amazing. He looked right at that I was watching this video, and the police was saying that the lady was out of line. And Ben Crump looked right at him and said, "You were out of line. You are the police. You are there to serve and protect." Ben Crump say everything that's supposed to be said. Okay. He does everything that he's supposed to do. And that's how he's able to get those settlements, because he ain't scared. Too many Black folks, y'all so scary. Y'all act like y'all scared of these folks. Y'all just like in the comments, putting these comments in there, oh, you should be focused on justice. Listen, I'm suing everybody, okay? If you do anything to me and I'm emotionally stressed out, if you even hit my car, you gonna get sued, okay? I don't care if I ain't even hurt. Somebody hit my car a couple of years ago and was like, well, I'll give you $650. Oh, no, the hell you won't. You gonna give me the maximum repair cost, and you're lucky I wasn't in it, because you'll be paying me for being hurt. Because if I would have hit your car, you'll be suing me. What you think this is? I'm suing everybody. Anything you do to me, if I'm hurt mentally, I'm suing you. I am. Yeah, self-hate is a real thing. And then you have to watch them, because it'll be the same scenario with a person that looked like a glowworm, and their response is totally different. Their response is totally different. I stay away from people like that. They don't even like themselves. Amen. We are our own worst enemy sometimes. This is why we'll never get ahead. Exactly. It's always beating him down. What did he do? You mad because he got this much? They mad because Ben Crump got this much money and they got this much. Like, come on now. You can't be mad. You can't be mad. Stop it. Stop it. I love what he does. I be wondering, like, where are the other Ben Crumps? Because at some point, Ben probably be like, look, I'm tired of this. But these weirdos need to get a life. This poor family is grieving the loss of a child, and that's the worst thing a parent could ever go through. Makes me sick. I wouldn't wish this on anybody. Exactly. And you got people talking about money. Money? Listen, if something happened to one of mine, there is no amount of money that will replace the agony that I will be going through. And you talking about money? Money? That mother said, listen, y'all can have everything. I just want my son. It's always people that look like us, but I don't pay them folks no attention. You have to surround yourself. If you can't find anybody to lift you up and make you feel good, then just get rid of all of them, and then you'll start over with new people. I don't be around people like that. I don't care if they my mama, my sister, my cousin. No, get the hell from away from me. You got to get folks from around you that act like that. Somebody said Ben Crump is a pimp. Well, you should get you one, because I bet you ain't got his money. Y'all so mad and so hateful. It be the broke folks that say that. If you go, they ain't got shit and they mad at the world. Those be the same kind of people that say, Obama didn't do nothing for us. I wasn't really looking for them to do shit for me, because I'm going to make sure what I got to do happens. I don't know what to tell y'all, but y'all, I'm about to get out of here because I got to jump back on here. We do have our members only live this evening. So if you guys are not a member, make sure you guys go ahead and sign up, because you will not be able to join that live. And I will catch y'all in another video.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening. Go on. Yes, I'm typing it all down.
Clear, spilling tea, no fear.
Okay, wait a minute, y'all. I have to come back. I am so sorry. I always forget this. I said I'm going to start writing my script down so I don't forget stuff. But shout out to the mods in the chat. Thank y'all so very much. You are much appreciated.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm listening. Go on. Yes, I'm typing it all down.
Clear, spilling tea, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. I don't lives right here. Spilling tea, no fear. I'm still here. Da 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 da. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. They talk loud, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here. Make sure you subscribe to Lakeysha Keysha, my dear. I'm still here, no fear, but I'm still here. Lakeysha Keysha, say it clear. Real talk lives right here.
Stretch words like
Spilling tea, no sugar, no fear. Make sure you subscribe to the Lakeysha Keysha channel.